Hello, I'm David Cho from Peer Tutoring Club. In this video, we're gonna learn how to get input using scanf and how to save variables using input. So last time we solved a problem that make an integer age that save your age as an integer and then print I'm age years old. However, today we want to get input, our age, and then print it. So the 17 is not gonna be assigned in like C++, but we're gonna get input, this number, and then print it. So user input is gonna be some number integer, and then we print this one. And before that, you have to print how old are you first, and then get user input, and then print this. Let's try this out. So the first thing we have to do is ask users their age. So it's gonna be printf how old. And then you are something years old. So we might wanna make an integer that's gonna save user input. So let's make int age. However, in this time we're not assigning a certain value or certain integer right away, because we want to, even if we save, let's say like 13, 14 or some number, if user input is different than that assigned value, then it's gonna, the value is now meaningless. So let's do not assign value at the first, and then we have to printf I'm, was it yours? Yeah, you are age years old. Here we want to print this integer value, so we're gonna use integer specifier %d, and after this double quotation mark, we want to indicate this integer variable was age. And the last and the most important part of this video is getting user input. So let's learn about that. So we can get input by using specifier and variable name. It's pretty much like really similar to how we print a value. However, in this case, we have to put ampersand mark in front of variable name. So for example, if you want to get integer input and that integer name is a, we want to do scanf and we put format specifier %d in quotation mark. We write variable name after comma. However, we want to write additional ampersand mark in front of that variable name. So in our case here, we want to get integer age and then print it again. So let's try this. So the format was scanf, format specifier, in this case it's %d because it's integer, and we write the variable name. However, we have to put ampersand in front of the variable name. and let's say we put 20. If we run the code, yeah, it asks how old are you, and you are 20 years old. 20 is the value I. Okay. And now we're gonna learn how to input multiple variable with one scanf. So this one works really similar with how we can print multiple variable in printf. So let's say we want to print these three variables into two integer a, b, and one character c. So here, of course, we have to put format specifier for corresponding format specifier for each of those variables. So in this case, we have two integers, so it's %d, and one character, so it's %c. However, for when we're getting input for %c, we have to put additional space in front of %c. So it's gonna be %d, space %c, and and get all these three inputs. And here's the problem. I want you to pause the video for a second, or read question by yourself, try solve it by yourself, and then watch solution together. Okay, so the problem is ask user's age, grade, and GPA, and print. So it's gonna be, so basically we're getting two integer variable input and one character input. So okay, let's start with declaring those variables. We need two integer, one character, so let's delete this. So two integer, those are age and grade. Age and grade. Oh, so this one is grade as a number, like 95, 95, 95, 96, 100, 90 or whatever. However, this GPA is your like GPAs in character. And we have to get three variable input, two of which are integer and one of which are character. So two integer, one character. However, in front of %c, we always have to put additional space. And we're getting age, grade, GPA. However, for scanf, we have to put ampersand in front of variable name. Okay, and then we have to put you are 8 years old, your grade is grade GPA. Okay. So first we have to do print your ages part. So your age is you are something years old. You are something years old. However, we want to use this integer variable we got from input, so we're gonna use format specifier %d and then age, indicating that this %d means this age. And we want to print your greatest grade GPA. Your greatest grade GPA, okay. So your grade is, it was grade GPA, and we want to use grade as integers, so we put format specifier %d. GPA is single character, so we use format specifier %c. Now, and don't be confused, because when we are using scanf, we have to put space in front of %c. However, when we print something, we don't have to put that space in front of %c. Okay, so this %d is grade, %c is GPA. Oh, and we have to put \n to make new lines. If we run the code, oh, I didn't put enough input. So let's say I got 90 as in grade and it's still A. If we run it, boom, you're 20 years old, your grade is 90A. Okay. Okay, now we have one part left, is getting string scanf. In previous video, we learned how to declare, how to make a list of character so that we can save multiple character in one variable. Just for review, if we go back, it's here. We make an array and save character for each, let's say, each room, I guess. And then the way we declare that array is pretty much similar, but we have to put bracket and size of that array after variable name, and then instead of using single quotation, we have to use just normal quotation, because we have to differentiate between character type and string type. And format specifier for string was %s. Okay, let's try this. Oh, however, for %s or a string, we don't need to put ampersand mark in front of variable name. So usually, if we follow the rule, then you might think we have to put ampersand here in front of ID. However, for string character array, we don't have to put ampersand mark. Okay. Oh, let's try this example here. So we make an character array named str, and its size is, let's say, 40, and then we wanna save my name is David. However, this number if this number is greater than the number of character you want to save, it really doesn't matter. If it's below the number of character that you want to save, it's gonna be an error. So format specifier for string is %s, and for string we don't put ampersand in front of variable name, and then we want to print this thing. If we run it, oh yeah, we don't declare this. Let's say hello world. Done. However, if you declare if you're getting input with scanf and using %s, it's gonna the C++ will gonna cut your input when they reach the space. So if you want to save all hello world, then you have to remove this space in between. Okay. Okay. So today we learned how to get user input using scanf. We're using format specifier and ampersand variable name. However, for string character array, we don't use ampersand. And when we're getting multiple input, we can always do something like this. And no matter if it's a single value input or multiple variable input, you always have to put space in front of %c. Yeah, that's all for today's lecture. Let's try out some Big June problems. I'll do, let's say, this 1000 and this little Jungmin problem with you together. Rest of the problems you can try by yourself. Okay, let's do that one first. Let's translate this to English. Okay, write a program that takes two integers a and b as input and outputs a plus b. A and b are given in the first line, a and b are less than 10. Okay, so we're getting two integer input, and then we have to print one integer input, one integer variable. So let's start with declaring two integers a and b, and we wanna get input. So we're using scanf %d, and then a b, and we wanna print the sum of two variables. So we want to do a plus b. Let's say our input is 4 and 5. If we run the code, it works. Oh, okay, so let's copy this, go to submit. And make sure that your language, you set your language as either C++17 or C++17 C-lang. Paste your code, click submit. Yay, we got it correct. And 11382. 11382. The problem is, what is it? The problem is little Jungmin. Let's read the problem. Little Jungmin can easily calculate a plus b now. Now it's time to calculate a plus b plus c. Oh, okay. Let's get 3 input. See, our sample input was this. Okay. Let's submit our code. Oh, we got it wrong. The reason why we got this wrong is because of integer range. So if we go back to, yeah, it was the slide on previous video. So let's see, integer. So integer can save variable around negative 2.1 billion to 2.1 billion. And uh, I'm pretty sure that 1 billion is 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 9. However, in this case, the input range is up to 10 to the power of 12. So we're gonna use new integer type called long int. So a long int, it takes off more memory, but we can we can save, we can like increase our limit by a lot. And format specifier for long int is %LLD. LLD. Yeah, and so we changed it. If we submit the code, yay, and then now it works. Okay, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys can try these 4 problems by yourself. If you have any problem, uh, just visit Peer Tutoring Club, and that's it. Thank you.